Small changes are significant and important. What is up, you delicious human? Welcome to the movement. This is episode number 7. My name is Kate Purtle. I am a health coach who helps women get restarted on their health journey after weight regain, drop the shame, fuck off their negative self-talk, remove all of the shit in their head that is holding them back so that they can become their healthiest, happiest, most confident, self-assured version of themselves. I literally just 1 minute ago got off a coaching call with my clients. We speak every single week. We go through the content of my 6-week program Restart, which is my mental weight loss program or my mindset diet program where we unfuck all of the shit in our head so that we can actually create lasting change. On every coaching call, I go around and ask them one thing they're proud of and one thing that they've learned this week before we get into the coaching call. And every single one of them tonight said, "Oh, this is small, but I'm proud of." And I had to stop them in their tracks because although things might seem small or insignificant, it's actually the small shit and the micro changes that you make that compound and are the reason for the macro changes, for the big weight loss, for the big change in your life. One of my clients said, "Oh, it's not that much," or "It's really small, but I'm actually feeling more full," and she's snacking less as a result of me making the recommendation that she beef up her meals by actually adding vegetables, which adds volume, which means that she's getting more full, which means that she's less likely to move towards unhealthy snacks or very calorie dense snacks that she has been doing. Because she hasn't been making main meals, she's just basically had a diet of snacks for a long amount of time. So I've been encouraging her to make 3 substantial main meals and still have some snacks, but not have her entire fucking diet made of snacks. And so when I make recommendations and changes to my clients' nutrition or their training, I only focus on 1% improvements and 1% incremental positive steps forward, because those are the things that actually create fucking change. So she started by saying, "Oh, it's not much, but I'm really proud of all the vegetables that I've been eating because it means that I'm more full and snacking less." And I had to remind her that although it's a quote unquote small thing, it's actually a big thing because that small thing is so fucking impactful. She dropped 2 kilos this week. Keep in mind, she has the weight to lose. It's the first few weeks of her entering a fat loss phase, and her diet has changed quite substantially since before she started with me. So I'm not saying 2 kilos a week is healthy, but 2 kilos a week for where she's at and her body and everything is fine. Purely by just adding more vegetables, and then the resulting action from that, or the resulting result or outcome from that, was that she's snacking less. And so therefore we've probably cut her calories down by about 500-600 a day purely by just adding more vegetables. And so therefore that one small change is actually impactful as fuck. When you go to lose weight, you make a macro decision. The macro decision is, I'm going to show up for myself, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to undertake the behaviors that are required in the weight loss process. But that macro decision has to be backed up by probably hundreds, if not thousands, of micro decisions that we make throughout the day, every single day, that are then the reason that the macro decision or the macro outcome actually gets achieved. It's the small micro decisions or the small daily actions that are actually what will truly transform you and transform your health and transform your body. The problem is we're all looking to make these huge, substantial, big-ass fucking changes, thinking that in order to be successful, we have to completely overhaul our entire life overnight, completely overhaul our entire nutrition, become a fucking athlete and train 6 days a week and walk 12,000 steps a day and sleep 8 to 9 hours a night and change all of that shit overnight, and thinking that we have to make these big changes in order to reach success or achieve success. But that's just not fucking true. The truth is that transformation happens in tiny micro decisions and tiny micro actions, which then compound day after day, week after week, month after month, and are actually then the reason that you achieve your big goal. You can't achieve your big goal without day one. You can't achieve a 20 kilo loss without the first kilo. You can't achieve 30 days of consistency without stringing the first 2 days together. You can't achieve eating a balanced, nutritious diet without first adding some fucking vegetables in. You can't achieve the big fucking goal or the big outcome or the big change or transformation in your life without these micro decisions, without these micro changes, without these micro actions. So instead of thinking that what you're doing is small or insignificant or not worthwhile, change your fucking perspective on the small things and actually realize that the small things are the big things. And you can't have the big things without the small things. So focus on the small things because that's the reason that you'll actually achieve the big things. Not to mention when you focus on these micro choices, decisions, or micro daily actions, it's so much less overwhelming. What so many people do is focus on the gap between where they are now and where they want to be. And the gap feels enormous. The gap feels fucking overwhelming. And the gap feels paralyzing. And so therefore, when you focus on the gap, you actually don't get started, you don't take action because you're focusing on the fact that you're overwhelmed as fuck because where you are right now and where you want to be feels fucking worlds apart. It's like Earth to fucking Pluto. You may as well be on a different fucking planet with how far away you feel from your goal. So let's just say you want to lose 40 kilos. If you're at day one and you're focusing on the fact that you have to lose 40 kilos, that is a surefire way to fucking fail because you're like, how the actual fuck am I going to lose 40 kilos? And you're at day one and you're like, oh my God, I need to overhaul my entire fucking life and do everything fucking today because that's the reason that I'm going to achieve the 40 kilo loss. When in actual fact, if you just get fucking started and you go for a walk and you make 1% improvements with your nutrition, like for example, instead of drinking a Coke, you drink a Diet Coke, instead of having, to use my client tonight, she used to just eat a chicken Kiev, how about you fucking add some vegetables to that and then you get more full, not to mention you're eating more of the good shit. And then tomorrow you show up and you go for another walk and you make one more adjustment to your nutrition. And then you focus on that and then you get into momentum and then you feel really fucking good because you're focusing on the small daily actions that you can do. What can I do in this 24-hour period? Okay, cool. Wake up tomorrow. What can I do in this 24-hour period? And then you string days together and then suddenly you're fucking a month in and you've lost 5 kilos and you feel fucking amazing. But you only are able to do that by focusing on the small shit, by focusing on the small little fucking things that you need to do every single day. So stop thinking that the small things are insignificant because they're absolutely not. They're fucking hugely significant and they're hugely impactful. Something else that one of my clients brought up tonight on our call is, so her workplace holds a lot of morning teas for birthdays and all kinds of things. And there's always really unhealthy food. And at those morning teas, she used to go and devour everything. And these days, she now gets to choose, does she feel like it? Does she not feel like it? Did she pack her snack? Because food or nutrition or eating certain foods, nothing is inherently bad or wrong. It's when we do it in high portions or if we do it really regularly where it starts to take an impact on our goals or on our body. And so she said, oh, this seems really small, but what I learned today at my morning tea was actually I didn't feel like eating that food and I'd packed my healthy food and I actually felt like eating my healthy food. So I ate my healthy food and what I realized was that I wasn't missing out. And she said, that seems really small. And again, I said, hey, it's not fucking small because that little perspective shift or that little mindset shift is powerful as fuck. Why? Because you've now realized that you can go to a morning tea or a friend's birthday or a celebration of some kind and you can choose if you want to eat that food. You can choose in that moment, you make that micro decision in that moment, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? And to feel like you can be in an environment where other people are eating food that you previously would have wanted to eat because you did, and to be able to recognize that you're not missing out by not eating the food, that mindset shift, that perspective shift is fucking massive. And again, it might seem small, it might seem insignificant, but it is fucking huge. It is fucking impactful. And it's these small little actions, choices, mindset shifts that are actually the reason why you will be successful. So instead of trying to change everything at once, instead of thinking that the small things are actually so small and insignificant that they're not even worth feeling proud of or talking about, instead of feeling like you have to completely fucking transform everything and make these huge big actions, just stop and focus on the small shit. Focus on the small micro decisions that add up and compound over time. Focus on the small daily actions. Going for a 30-minute walk today, going for a 30-minute walk tomorrow, showing up for yourself, doing the things that you said you were going to do, keeping your promises. That's another one. If you say you're going to go for a walk today, go for a fucking walk today. Why? Because when you don't, you sever your self-trust, you sever your self-belief, and you don't fucking believe you in yourself as a result of you not following through with your word. That too seems small and insignificant. However, that one is fucking huge and powerful as well. So let's focus on the small shit. Let's focus on the fact that these small things are actually fucking significant and commend ourselves for them, celebrate ourselves for them, but also know that the only way that you're going to get to your big goal is by getting really fucking good at mastering all the small shit. That is all. Thank you so much for listening. If you are interested in Restart, my 6-week program, you can find the details in the description of this video or in the show notes. If you want to come join our free online community, you can also find that in the description below. Thank you so much for listening. I love you. I will catch you tomorrow.